Hello and welcome. It is that of Thursday, the 27th of December, 2018. This is an NHL picks video. I'm gonna share 11 selections that I like tonight, all with plus money prices, and go through each of these games. First off, let's look at dailyfaceoff.com and take a look at who's starting or likely to start in each game. Carolina, Washington, we don't have any confirmed starters. Mrazek taking on Holtby. We got Detroit taking on Pittsburgh. Matt Murray will be starting in net. New Jersey has got Mackenzie Blackwood against Yaroslav Halak in net. And this Mackenzie Blackwood is playing only his second game. It looked like he did pretty good in his first one, with a 2.22 goals against average, 93% save percentage. We got Columbus taking on the New York Rangers. Jonas Corpusalo, I probably pronounced that incorrect. I'm not sure who he's going up against, but 5-4 record, 3.54 goals against the average, and 88.5% save percentage is very important information we'll talk about within that game. Philadelphia taking on Tampa Bay, one of my favorite games, maybe the best one of the night. I got two plays on this game. We got Vasilevsky versus Mike McCall. We'll say McCall. He hasn't done so well. Vasilevsky has been one of the best. Calgary has taken on Winnipeg. David Riddick against Connor Hellebuck, and both goaltenders are spectacular. Connor Hellebuck hasn't had that great of a season, but he's definitely a better goalie than that, and the offense for Winnipeg is really good. 16-10 record for the Winnipeg Jets with him starting or playing in net as the within his record. Dallas is in Nashville. Pekka Rinne probable, most likely for the Nashville Predators. I'm already playing them as it is, so hopefully he does end up going. And Tom Kudabin in net, 6-9, 2.81 goals against average. Buffalo Sabres taking on the St. Louis Blues. We got Carter Hutton taking on Jake Allen in net. Carter Hutton's had a relatively good season. Minnesota taking on Chicago. We got Devin Dubnyk versus Colin Delia. I'm not too sure if I pronounced that correct or not. He's only had one start, and he only let in a goal. So that was impressive. And they really need it in Chicago. In Vancouver and Edmonton, we got Koskinen. I've heard his name before, so I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. Great start to the season, but he's tailing off a little bit so far. Colorado's taking on Vegas, and we have no confirmed goalies in that game, nor do we have confirmed goalies in Arizona at LA. Martin Jones will start against the Anaheim Ducks. So therefore, the analysis and selections for each of these contests, let's take a look at it. And before I get going within it, I'm going to explain how I make my wagers. I bet 8% of my bankroll. And when I say bankroll, that means the bankroll within, because my bankroll is less than 1% of my portfolio overall. So within that bankroll, 8%. And the mathematical formula is 100 divided by price, multiply 8% of my bankroll. So if it's a plus 150, it's 1 divided by 1.5, multiply that. Plus 100, it would just be 8%. And if it's a plus 200, I would bet half of what I normally would bet and a third at a plus 300. So the Devils are playing the Bruins. The 9 of 18 New Jersey road games have ended in a 2-point loss. And 9 of 18 Boston home games have ended in a 2+ win. So does that tell me I got a 50-50 chance of winning? Well, the line is plus 123 for Boston to win by 2 or more goals. So that's what I'm playing. A Boston Bruins laying a goal and a half. New Jersey is up against the New York Rangers. Columbus is not a team you'd want to fade as they keep games close. I am looking to go long with the New York Rangers at home. They are very good at home, but not tonight normally. And as we've seen Bobrovsky, the normal Columbus starting goaltender, is not starting. So therefore, I'm going to be playing the Rangers, laying a goal and a half, getting a great price of plus 274. The Red Wings are playing the Pittsburgh Penguins. Neither team showing strength at home this year, or they're the type of teams that are just as good on the road as they are at home. Pittsburgh is heavy favorites in this game. They're plus 104 on the puck line. And at even odds, I don't really want any part of it. Pittsburgh hasn't been as good this year. Dylan Larkin is really playing better hockey for Detroit as well. Panthers at the Capitals. 6 of the last 8 Carolina games have ended in a 2+ goal loss. 7 of 17 Washington games ended in 2+ win, and that would be at home. The last 4, however, did not. I have fair line at plus 161 for Washington on the puck line, and I'm getting plus 167. So that makes it an opinion play on Washington, but I'm not going to touch that play. I love the Flyers Tampa game. 5 of the last 9 Philadelphia road games have ended in a 2+ loss. That's not just losses, that's overall games. Tampa is 15-4 straight up, and 12-5 of the last 17 home games have ended with them winning by 2. And I mean, that is monster. They're the number 1 team in hockey. The number 1 team. They got the number 1 goaltending, and their offense is maybe the number 1 offense as well. It is a dynamite team. Tampa Bay's last 3 home games, all 3+ goal wins, and 5 of their last 9 as well. Philadelphia has trailed after the first period in 6 straight road games in 8 of their last 9. Tampa Bay has led after 1 in 5 of their last 7 games at home. So I am playing Tampa Bay minus a goal and a half plus 110 for the game, and for the first period, Tampa Bay laying a half a goal plus 119, which means for the prop, yes, they will lead after 1 period. So 2 plays on the Tampa game. I got 2 other plays like that where I'll be doing both plays again. Sabres and Blues. The Sabres are a better team. The Blues are a little hot. The Sabres are a little cold. And the Blues are an okay size small favorite. So I don't want to touch that game with a 10-foot pole. Stars against the Nashville Predators. The Stars, 8 of 20 road games have ended in a 2-goal loss. So 40% of the time they play on the road, they're going to lose by multiple goals. The Predators are off a brutal road trip. And 9 of 19 Nashville games, so they're 9-10, laying 1.5 goals. And the first period home and average scores, in the first this year, Dallas, basically, their average score is 0.35 to negative 0.7 in the first period on the road. So they're scoring 35 of every 100 games on the road on average in the first period, where Nashville has outscored their opponents 1 to 0.58 in the first period at home. So I'm going to be playing the Nashville Predators laying a goal and a half plus a 158 price. And I'm going to take them to be leading after 1 period with a plus 152 price. We got the Flames and the Jets, and I love this game, but I can't play it. The Flames are 11-8 and on the road, and they're 11-7 at home. So that tells me they are just as good in either direction. They do not really have any road disadvantage. The Flames have 3 straight losses, but that was after they were on a 17-6 run. And the Jets are 11-2 overall in their last 13 games. So a beautiful game to watch. Maybe a game you want to play on fantasy. I'm going to talk about my fantasy strategy tonight because I haven't looked too much into it, and there's a reason for that. But for what I have looked into, I'll go over. There's really only one game to talk about for fantasy for me. Wild and Blackhawks. The Wild 0-4 in their last 4 games, and 3-10 have been outscored amongst those 4. So they've only scored 3 of their last 4 games, and they just haven't played well lately. 7 of Minnesota 9 road losses are by 2 goals or more, including one of those games against Chicago. So this is the second trip for Minnesota in their divisional rival Chicago opponent. And with Chicago, they just had a 3-game winning streak just snapped. And Chicago, as I mentioned, had their guy playing their second game. And they really need it because their goaltending has just been terrible. I'm getting a plus 326 price for Chicago to win by 2 or more. So, I mean, yeah, that's just a given. Vancouver is in Edmonton, and this is another game that I like too. Vancouver is 6-3 in their last 9 games. Vancouver is 5-1 plus a goal and a half on their last 6 on the road, and 13-5 in the last 18, which means they're not a team you really want to try to fade on that -1.5 goal. They've been doing very good. Edmonton 0-3 and 1-4 a streak after a 7-1 run before that. So they were hot, now they're cold. Edmonton has only won 2+ win in their last 7 home games. Edmonton's last 4 and 5 of their last home 7 losses are by 2+ goals. Edmonton goalie is looking human lately, and he came up to a really good start, but has really transpired down. So I'm going to be playing the Vancouver Canucks laying a goal and a half plus a very high +347 price. Next up, we got the Colorado Avalanche going to Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. Colorado's 11-10 on the road, 8-8 at home. So there's another team like Calgary that doesn't show them any type of advantage at home over the road like most teams do. We're Las Vegas, 11-6 at home, 9-13 on the road. They sure as heck do. Colorado's 2-6 over the last 8 games and 0-3 on their last 3 road games. Las Vegas, 9 of 11 home wins have been by 2 or more goals, and Colorado, 4 of last 5 road losses are by 2+ goals. So I'm going to lay a goal and a half on the Vegas Golden Knights and take a +181 price at the same time. Arizona Coyotes in Los Angeles to take on the Kings. Arizona 9-9 on the road and 7-11 at home. So this is a team that is better on the road. Arizona has stopped a 1-6 run as they've now got a 2-game winning streak. Arizona's 4 of 9 road wins have only been by 2 or more goals. So they're not a team they're not the type of team you want to play that 2-goal game too much, either pro or fade. So therefore, I'm not going to be laying as many times the 1.5 in Arizona games. The Kings with 3 straight wins so far, and Arizona 8 of 11 home losses are by 2 or more. But all I got is an opinion play right now on the Arizona Coyotes. I mean, the Kings have won 3 straight games, but they're just a horrible team. They're like the worst team in hockey, so I didn't have to tell you before then how they've done. It's pretty bad. Finally, we got the Anaheim Ducks taking on the San Jose Sharks. Anaheim's 9-10 on the road, 10-9 at home, so it really doesn't make too much of a difference where they're playing. Anaheim has 3 straight losses, being outscored 9-2 after they won 9 of 10 games previous to such. Anaheim has 10 of 10 road losses by 2 or more goals. So every single time they've lost on the road, it's been by multiple margins. San Jose has 3 losses in a row, but they've only been outscored 12-8 compared to Anaheim's 3-game losing streak, where they were outscored 9-2. And just like Anaheim, they won 7 of the last 8 games coming in. So both teams have the exact same situation, a 3-game losing streak after they were hot going before then. San Jose, 5 of the last 7 home wins have been by 2 or more. And going back to the first period home and away stats, Anaheim this year have been outscored 0.89 to 0.42 in the first period on the road, whereas the Sharks have outscored their opponents 1.37. That's just a fantastic first period number to 0.79 allowed. So I'm going to be playing the San Jose Sharks, laying a goal and a half +149, and also for them to be leading by a goal or more after the first period with a +146 price. For fantasy hockey, I really want to talk mainly about game situations, because this is what this is all about, and the game is full. I noticed this a couple days ago. Once I seen it, I reserved the entry, and it's one you're probably going to lose, but it's $3 to have a chance to win 4 figures. And the game I'm doing is the Vancouver Canucks at the Edmonton Oilers. It's only that game. It's what they call a showdown on DraftKings. And there's over 500 people in it, like 550 close to. And it's pretty much winner take all. For the winner gets a $1,000 tournament seat with a shorthanded game. And a shorthanded game means to be like just a few, 3 dozen people playing, like 30, 40 people. So it's a $1,000 game you win if you get first, and then second to like 50 something will have like a $340 prize pool for like the rest. So I'm looking to take a chance when there's 500 plus people. and try to get a lineup that's unique, that has the best chance of winning. So amongst that game, I am basically going pro on the scoring. I'm not going to want to touch any goaltenders in this game, given what I'm seeing. And I got the new player on the line for the Edmonton Oilers with Connor McDavid, because I think he's just a big game scorer. But Josh Levo was traded from the Toronto Maple Leafs to the Vancouver Canucks, and he's went from the fourth line to the third line, and he has been phenomenal. So I'm definitely playing him, and a bunch of other scorers as well. So that's what I'm doing within fantasy hockey, just play on the one game. But what I like to do is play for games that are extremely top heavy. I'll talk more about this later. And especially because the Super Bowl will be, especially because of the Super Bowl and all of the playoff games for that matter in the NFL, where you're in large field tournaments, where you have very limited choices in who you play. For there's a strategy, and that is to get a unique lineup, most likely that is, that there is a very low chance that anyone's going to share it. So you're really going to have to find some sleepers amongst the mist in there. And when you can do so, then you can give yourself a large mathematical advantage as long as the top 2-3 prizes are very top heavy, especially the first place prize. If you're interested, please let me know, because if there's not anyone interested, it really isn't worth my time in bringing it up. But it most certainly is a positive long-term strategy, risking a little to win a lot. And when I'm betting $3 to win $1,000 tournament game, which means that would pay me like minimum $1,500 or $2,000 back, because that would be the minimum cash. That's the type of gambling I like to do quite frequently, is bet very small amounts to win a whole bunch. And DraftKings allows me to do such. So those are the hockey selections for today. And while I'm still recording, last night was the start of the World Junior Under 20, 19 and under hockey championship. And Canada started off against the Great Danes, Denmark. And really, this is the first time I've ever seen Denmark play a game. How are they playing a tournament of this level and going up against Canada? And I'm thinking to myself, would this be one of those games I've seen very frequently, when the major better team, which is Canada in this case, will have more goals than their opponents will have shots? Will Canada get a shutout? Meaning, are they favored, better than 50% likely to not allow a goal? I thought yes. I looked for a wager for a Canada shutout, but I didn't find one. The spread was 7.5 goals, and I was even thinking I probably should have laid it, because it seems like a fair spread was about -10. But historically speaking, it's always like the Czech Republic, Russians, Swedes, Americans that always win by like 12, 14 goals, or just dominate those teams. But Canada always finds a way to keep them closer. So I'm thinking, are they going to have like that 7-0 kind of win? Yeah, I should have. They won by 14 or 15-0 or whatever, 16-0. And they had more goals and shots as expected. But I wasn't too sure what to expect out of these teams, so I thought it was best for me to stay on the sideline for that particular game and just watch things and see if I can get any information moving forward later on in the tournament as we end the year. Well, the end of the tournament. It's a week and a half long. Okay, so thank you for tuning in to the video, and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.